Our third PMP Hall of Fame Class 2022 inductee is Jay Nixon. Now, he may be semi-retired, but he still travels the world today on behalf of American Pest, the company he joined 40 years ago and became full owner of in 1997. So let's take a moment now to learn how Jay got to where he is today.
Walter J. Nixon was born and raised in a small town in New Jersey. As a kid, he loved the outdoors and was fascinated by snakes so much that when he went to college, he majored in biology. Before he could launch his career after graduation, however, the Vietnam draft came calling. Nixon trained as an Army medic, but spent a lot of time stateside at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Still, toward the end of his Army stint from 1969 to 1971, he spent several months testing anti-venom formulations for Southeast Asian snakes to help soldiers in the field. He decided to then go to graduate school at the University of Maryland, and thanks to some encouragement from a friend, Nixon earned a master's degree in entomology in 1973. He still maintains his board-certified entomologist accreditation today. Nixon points to many mentors for his career, from the university's Dr. Gene Wood, who steered him to his first industry post with a real estate inspection company, to fellow pest management professional Hall of Fame member Dr. John Osman. In 1982, Nixon joined the American Disinfectant Company as a technical director. A few months later, in 1983, he and Bob Byrne, Bill Roll, and Bob Wells pooled their funds to purchase the company from the widow of company founder Paul Cecil. A year later, they renamed it to American Pest Management. By 1997, Nixon's three older partners retired one by one, and he became the full owner of the company. Nixon is proud that the start of the National Pest Management Association's joint stake membership happened while he was president from 1993 to 1994. As it was a personal goal to unite the various state organizations to form a stronger voice. He also is grateful to two past NPMA presidents, Judd Pestana and PMP Hall of Famer Bob Jenkins Sr., because the two of them each took him under their wing to show him the inner workings of association operations. Pestana and Jenkins also welcomed Nixon and American Pest to the associated group, of which he is a past president. Nixon, who was married to Barbara from 1968 until her death in 2020, is enjoying semi-retirement with his children, Matt and Kara, and 6 grandchildren. He has traveled around the world and continues to do so today as a contract entomologist for the U.S. Department of State. And yes, there's still his love for snakes, although it's just a hobby these days.
Please join me in welcoming to the podium PMP Hall of Famer Jay Nixon to say a few words and accept the PMP Hall of Fame award.
You did. Wow. Thank you, PMP, for this indeed honor to be in this room with so many of my esteemed colleagues and seeing the pictures out there. I somewhere had some notes. I started writing down names of people that influenced my career, and it just kept getting longer and longer, and I thought, you know, if I read any of these names, I'm going to mess them all up. You saw a number of them there. Sitting at my table tonight is a young man that I met in the early 70s in the middle of the winter at the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Mr. Robert Dole. We've been friends ever since. You know, he and his wife Judy have been mentors and supporters for years. As I see a couple of the Jenkins crew back there that their dad and mom took me under their wing many years ago and urged me to become active, as you mentioned in the presentation there, as did the Judd Pastana especially. Gene Wood, who you saw a picture of up there, those from the East Coast knew Gene at the University of Maryland, started the Interstate Conference there many years ago. It's just been one helping hand after the other. Without those ladies and gentlemen on the posters out there that preceded me with this award, and so many of you in the room, I just be bumbling along out there. And whatever contributions I've made to this industry, it's a small amount from what I have received from the support and friendship of all of you over the years. So for that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you, PMP. Thank you, fellow inductees. You all have a unique approach to how you got here. And I do want to mention one, since Malcolm Stack has been mentioned so many times tonight. He was also a huge influence in my term as president of NPMA. He was on my executive board, and he was the voice of reason, trying to herd a bunch of pest control people. He was able to, sort of, okay, guys, calm down. Let's and just keep us right on target to solve the problems that we needed to solve. So many of us have been touched by so many of these people, and I thank you, and good evening.